I'm doing my presentation on Dr. Kristen Nicholson, who is the head of the Wake Forest Pitching Lab at Wake Forest University. So who is she? She was born in Clover, South Carolina, and attended Clemson University to gain her bachelor's degree in mathematical science. And then she moved on to the University of Delaware, where she gained her master's and doctorate in biomechanics and movement. She is now an assistant professor in the Department of Orthopedic Surgery at the University of Wake Forest and is the director of the Wake Forest Pitching Lab. And fun fact, she loves to bake. So at what is the Wake Forest Pitching Lab? It's a place where pitchers starting from the age of 12 all the way until however long you're playing baseball can gain a biomechanical evaluation, which allows you to see your pitching mechanics. And then also they do various other stuff like mobility and strength exercises to see how well you move. Within this lab, they do use 3D cameras, which detect your motions. So the lab started with the idea, Coach Walter, who was the head coach at Wake Forest and an orthopedic surgeon at Wake Forest in 2017. And they wanted to have a place where they're able to help prevent injuries and improve their pitchers' mechanics in a better way. And at the time they were renovating their facility, which is connected to the baseball field. And so they made sure they had a space for this lab. And they brought on Dr. Nicholson, who, as they were looking for a biomechanist, and she helped bring this idea to life. She helped them look for force plates, motion detector cameras, and softwares that they use for this lab. They use Kinetrax and Qualisys. And when I went this past summer, I had interviewed her and I asked her what was the core mission of this lab and why does she love doing it. And she thinks this lab helps pitchers become as efficient as possible, which helps limit injury risk and increasing their performance. And she also incorporated Coach Walter and said their main goal for this pitching lab is to help them get to Omaha, which it has done. So over time, this pitching lab has changed quite a bit. So at the beginning, they used a marker system, which is when they had to attach sensors all the way from your head all the way to your feet, which were able to be detected by the 3D motion capture cameras that they had. Now they have a markerless sensor system, so they don't have to attach any sensors onto your body. You're able to wear whatever clothes you would like, and it's less manual work, so the evaluation happens quicker. But as the time with the lab has gone on, they've also been able to incorporate other sports like softball and football. And with that, they do use their old system, the Quasley system, not the Kinetrax, which so they do have to use marker systems for that. Here are some images. As you can see on the left right here, the marker system, I have arrows pointing on the image. The white patches are the sensors that they used. And then on the right, I only have to have sensors on my hat and not all the way down my body. So my experience at the Wake Forest Pitching Lab, I've gone 3 times. So in 2020, 2023, and 2025. When I first went, I had problems with my shoulder and elbow, and I was looking for answers in a way to help fix that. And they were able to give me strength exercises. They tested my mobility, I was able to see things I can improve in what was causing my pain. And the routine when you go there, they'll do a movement and strength screening, upper and lower body. And then you're able to warm up your body and then start throwing and then throw off a mound. So here are some images. So right here, this was in 2020 when I was 13 and I was doing a grip strength test here. And then in the middle, these two were in the past summer. So I was warming up and then throwing off their mound. As you can see at the top right here, here's one of the cameras that they use to help film. It is not. All right, there we go. So I'll show you one of the videos that they have sent me. This is from Over the Top, and you can see how it looks when they send it to you. And when you get after that, they send you your results. So they'll send you an email of an analysis of your results, and then they'll also send you a link to Kinetrax, which is the site that they use to help like put all your data into numbers and comparing it to previous athletes, which are mostly male. And I'll just show you guys the site right here. So you can see on the right, they'll have different camera angles of your throws, and then they'll go through a lot of the metrics like shoulder rotation, hip shoulder separation, stride length, and then they also do pitch velocity with pitch type and spin rate and how you're throwing it, and kinematic sequence, which is how all the energy from the ground is moving all the way up the chain into your arm. And this website has so much, they're able to give you information on what you're looking for and what to improve. And they will also send you an email on how to strengthen these exercises. So at the beginning, when they do your strength and movement assessment, they'll get all these numbers, which you can see. So dominant internal rotation. So internal rotation is when you're doing this, going into your body. And then that's my in degrees. So I have 102 internal rotation, and yeah, internal rotation. Uh, and then, yeah, as you can see, they're able to give down here, strength exercises for you to help strengthen your shoulders and elbows and all that. And they had said I have pretty good strength in my mid trap, but my lower trap is what lacks strength. And I've been doing these exercises, and I've noticed like my recovery is better. I feel better when I throw, and I'm able to stay healthy longer. When I was there this summer, I also was able to talk to a pitcher there who was there for the summer. Uh, he was a freshman, and I had asked him, how does he think this pitching lab has helped him improve in the time he's been there? And he said it's given him a better understanding of how well his body moves, and they're able to put on paper what he needs to do to help move better. And I think that's a pretty big thing. And also for women in the game, I think it can give women an opportunity to stay in the game longer by helping them identify some of the problems that they may have in their pitching motion, and whether that's strength and mobility, exercise, and stuff like that. I think when I had asked her, there had been one other female who had been there who was in high school, and they're comparing our data to male data. I think if we would be able to get more women in there, we were able to compare it to each other and give us a better understanding of how our body moves. So in conclusion, I think her work shows that there is a place for women in baseball, especially in the science field, which is how she's influenced the game so much, honestly, because a lot of colleges have pitching labs now, and all MLB teams have pitching labs now. And I think that's a really big thing that she's impacting the game in a big way. And also, the coaches at Wake Forest, coaches and players at Wake Forest buy into this program, because I mean she can give you all the data you want, but if you don't actually believe in it and work towards a way to improve it, then it's no good. And yeah, I think more women should actually honestly seek out pitching evaluations, because I think it can help us maybe rise in the ranks a little bit with our numbers and stuff like that, just because a lot of women don't know. Like, they don't know what they can do. There's not a lot of resources out there for them to access. But I think this could be a really big resource because it gives you hand on information. Yeah, that concludes it. Stop sharing my screen. Are there any questions on this presentation? I don't know how to.
Whoops, I should take myself off mute when I talk.
Oh, that's fine.
Thank you, Naomi.
Actually,
that
thank
really
you.
was fascinating. We do have questions for you. First, the point was that women's bodies need to be studied in addition to men's bodies. You mentioned there was one other high school girl who had been there. Have other women at other levels gone there?
No, other women actually have not gone. We are the only two who have been there.
Is there another lab that women tend to go to, or you mentioned no?
No, so at least not at the Wake Forest Pitching Lab. I feel like women have maybe gone to other ones. I feel like some baseball facilities may have them, but I don't know if any other colleges allow people to come in like Wake Forest. I'll have to look that up. But
so yeah, so how did you went to the lab when you were 13? How did that all come about?
So I had been injured and I wanted to find a way to help with my throwing motion because that was probably what was causing it. And I wanted to find a solution to being injured, and they were able to give me that. I haven't been in.
How did you find them, Naomi? Did someone suggest? Did some of your coaches
online? Just going
on your
online.
own?
Obviously my parents found out. I was 13 at the time, but they were just looking online and they came across it and they're like, oh, this could be a good thing for us to go to and figure out what's going on.
Who were you playing with when you were 13?
So I played travel ball for the Virginia Seminoles, which are located in Richmond, Virginia. And then I was going into my 8th grade year, and my high school starts in 8th grade. So I was going to go to Miller School. And then, yeah, I was playing travel ball and going into middle school.
And you were obviously pretty much committed to the sport and to being a pitcher at that age.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. Steve's curious about who pays for the evaluation and the cost, or is it covered by the university?
My parents pay for the valuation, and for younger ages, I believe 12 to 14, it's $350. And then 14, like high schoolers, and then college players, it's around $500. And then I'm not sure about professionally. I'm not sure if it'll probably be a little bit more. I'll probably look that up too. But it does cost.
That actually sounds rather reasonable, huh? Can you talk? Oh, there's a question. Does this evaluation have to be done on campus, or can the technology travel?
It is on campus. They have their own pitching lab, which is connected to the baseball field, and they have a lot of like motion sensor cameras in there.
So you've been there 3 times.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you told us a little bit how the technology changed, but what are you seeing in your results? And you're getting suggestions on how to improve. And I noticed on a couple places it said improved. Can you tell us a little bit about how your success with these results?
So they give out 3 things. They give out your mechanics, your strength, and then your mobility. I think the biggest thing for me has been focusing on mobility, and it improved. I'm pretty sure it was my hip internal and external rotation had improved. And I think that's pretty big, especially in the women's game, because our hips are formed a little bit differently than men's. And I think being able to find ways to help use our body in the best way is great, and that's what it's done for me. And then for strength wise, especially in the scabs, that's a big thing all around the game, especially for pitchers, because if you have strong scabs in the back, then you're able to prevent injuries in your shoulders and elbows and stuff like that. And I've been incorporating the exercises that they've been giving to me.
Do you share this experience? I'm guessing you share the experience with your coaches on the national team.
Oh no, I actually haven't. On my high school team, especially, I mean, this past year, I shared it with my strength coach at Miller, and he's
Uh-huh.
been able to help me out with that, incorporating before practice and stuff like that. But I haven't showed it to my coaches on the national team. I guess I should probably do that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to
Hmm.
hear, if there's other of your teammates that
Hmm.
are interested in doing this or doing this at other places. I didn't realize there were so many different pitching labs and these kind of
Hmm.
opportunities. Let's see, we've got more questions. Are you interested in studying anything related to this for school in parallel with your baseball?
So I do want to get into physical therapy, especially
Mm.
I want to work with professional teams. So I think learning about how she was able to impact a college team like this was a great opportunity for me. But I wouldn't say I want to get into biomechanical stuff in my future.
Did I may have missed it. Did you
Mhm.
mention if Dr. Nicholson played baseball herself,
No,
or
she did not. She did not play baseball.
she just got interested in this as
Mhm.
part of her work?
She worked with uh kids with palsy
Oh,
in her when she was at the University of Delaware, I'm pretty sure. And she also worked with figure state skaters, which I found pretty cool, I guess, like how
yeah.
their movements and turns and how they were able to be more efficient in that. But
Well,
no,
that'd be interesting to
she didn't
track
play
that,
baseball.
huh?
Yeah.
Great. Let's see. Emily is wondering how they might use this data in support of injury recovery.
Okay, so in support of injury recovery, so I had asked her about this. They don't to be able to do the evaluation, you don't have to be throwing at 100%. So, especially when you're coming back from an injury, maybe Tommy John or
Mm-hmm.
something in the shoulder, you are able to get on the mound and not throw at 100% and be able to see some of the mechanical stuff that has maybe arose from your injury
Mm.
and what they can do now to help fix it and help along with the process of recovery. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the most knowledge I have of that topic.
Well, you're learning it from both. You'll be learning it from both sides then. Let's see. Uh, Elizabeth is wondering the lab now incorporates football and softball, but does it assist with other throwing and hitting sports? Do hitters go there? Golfers, tennis players?
No, hitters, golfers, or tennis players don't go there. She didn't mention anything about that. She just mentioned about some football throws that they have done, probably with the football team, and how they've had some softball pitchers going there. But that is also with the marker system. That is not with the marker list system.
Hmm. Um, I wouldn't have thought about it till you were talking about it, but it makes you think that each of these sports is going to have different
Mhm.
things that need to be looked at and evaluated. Uh, Barrett's mentioning that Rachel Valkovich conducted her research at a pitching biomechanics lab outside of Seattle, something similar to Wake Forest.
Mhm.
And I think we had a guest on one of the conferences that was also going to go work
I did see
lab.
something about Driveline popped up. It probably was Driveline.
Uh-huh.
They do pitching, but they also do hitting, uh,
Uh, Emily.
mechanical analysis. They also set up markers all over your body. I'm not quite sure exactly. It's probably really similar to the pitching one with the
Mm-hmm.
3D cameras and force plates and stuff like that.
So I'm curious, what are your plans for this last year of high school and getting ready for your future and the World Cup and national team
Mhm.
and all of this? What's the
Well,
year looking like?
so the next USA event is in the beginning of October in Cary, North Carolina. It's a developmental camp, and also Team Canada is going to be there. So we're also going to be doing developmental stuff, and then playing against Team Canada. And then after that, just getting ready for the high school season. That'll be in the spring. We play a 40 game schedule, so it'll be a lot trying to get my body ready for that. And then hopefully I'm committing to play college baseball soon before December, I'd say. Before that, making sure I get my applications in. And then in the summer, I'll be preparing for college. I mean, mostly preparing all summer for college. And then also Team USA is having an event, I'm pretty sure, next summer. And I'm pretty sure it's in Illinois. I
Oh,
think it's in, I could be wrong.
is it
I feel like
Rockford?
it's in Rockford.
It's in Rockford,
Because we're
Illinois.
hosting, yes, 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 it is. We're
We are ready
hosting
to
some team.
welcome you, Naomi.
I'm ready to be welcome.
Are you talking about next year?
Yes, next summer.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Great.
pretty sure that will be like named a qualifier for the World Cup,
One
and
of the
the year
stages,
after
yeah.
that will be World Cup.
We're all very excited about that.
Yes, it will be very
And to know that you'll be there, it's an even more an interesting a draw there. Leslie's curious, is there anything you want to know that they cannot yet do for you as a pitcher?
I think with comparing myself to other male athletes, I think being able to have a female model that I'm able to be compared to, and how obviously we do move different. We don't have the exact same body. So I think being able to see me compared to that would be good.
Meredith is curious, did you try out for the WPBL?
No, I didn't. So since I am in high school and I also want to play college baseball, I didn't want that to interfere with like my eligibility or anything like that in college. So I did not try out.
Well, we're really excited for you and everything that's coming up for you and ahead of you, and we look forward to following your career. Hopefully, you'll come back and join us at upcoming conferences and let us catch up with you, or maybe Barrett will decide you're his next subject to follow.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments for Naomi? You did a great presentation.
Thank you.